Okay, so sometimes you win, sometimes you lose when you're homesteading. Yesterday was another loss. I was frustrated, I was irritated at the end of the day. This is my DR walk behind brush mower. The model is Pro XL30. We got this in like October, November of 2023. It was phenomenal. We used it at the end of the season to cut down some brush. I did buy the snow blower package with it. Not sure if I really needed that. That was the attachment for the snow blower. It just goes on the front the way this brush mower goes on the front. Where you see the orange stop right above the engine, that's the machine itself. And then in front of the orange base is the brush mower attachment. There's a snow blower attachment that goes onto that. It's $1,000 for the snow blower. You'd be better off just buying a regular snow blower. Anyways, come summer of 2024, I was using this at least once a week, if not more, to at the very minimum cut lines for the electric fencing in order to rotationally graze all of our goats and sheep at the time. I had a ton of brush out there. It couldn't just take a weed whacker to it and cut a line for the electric fences. It just wasn't going to work. It's way too overgrown in the back of my property. So this was doing a phenomenal job, but I was really pushing it and I was getting it clogged up. I kept tipping it over, cleaning it out, run some more, it would get stall out, tipping it over, clean it out. Well, little did I know, as I was tipping it over, I was dumping out the oil. So yeah, you know what comes next. So halfway through the summer, I seized up the engine. So that halted the rotational grazing for the summer. I couldn't cut the lines to put the electric fence up. So realized I blew the motor. We contacted DR. They weren't going to cover it. I did have the warranty, but they weren't going to cover it because it was my fault. And it was. I take full responsibility for that. They were really great about it. They offered to send me a new engine at cost. One thing after another, and just didn't have the money. Finally, a month or so ago, called them again, asked for the engine. They said they'd honor that price, so they gave it to me at cost for $600. These go for $750 online. So that was nice of them. They didn't have to do that, but they did. Yesterday, I installed it. It was fairly straightforward. If you're a mechanic, you could do it in your sleep. I'm no mechanic, so I had some issues. Called my buddy Rich. He helped me a lot. Thank you, Rich. At the end of the day, couldn't get it started. I didn't mess too much with the lines, the hoses that were already connected. I just left them alone. I didn't want to mess anything else up. But we just couldn't get it started last night. Called DR this morning, got on the phone with them. They helped me out. While I was talking to them, I was looking at diagrams online. My buddy Rich got it narrowed down to a fuel pump problem. The guy on the line for DR explained to me what each line was, so that was extremely helpful. And then looking at a diagram online, I finally was able to figure it out. So they basically sent the hoses not connected in the right spot because they just sent it out as shipping. For shipping purposes, they just connected everything and boxed it up, thinking that an actual mechanic was going to be able to figure it out. Well, I'm no mechanic, so it took me a while to figure it out. But finally, this morning, if we didn't have this summer, then I wouldn't be rotational grazing, because there's no way I could do it with a weed trimmer. I'm not going to be able to get through those woods with a trimmer. Cannot do it. Have to have this to put them out in the back of my property. Without it, I would have been SOL for the rest of the summer. Wouldn't have been able to rotationally graze them using electric fence. So luckily, got it all straightened out this morning. So with a tiny bit of know-how that I have, with a whole lot of know-how from my buddy Rich, and with the assistance from DR, able to get it started. Now I'm able to put the goats and the sheep out on, not pasture, but out in my woods for rotational graze to eat all this greenery up behind me. That helps clear it. That also helps them get out, get some fresh greens, helps me with my feed bills. So this was immense, and this is probably the first week that I could put them out. Right now, it went like last week, everything was turning green, but this week, all of a sudden, boom, everything is green and growing, so that's fantastic. So it's all perfect timing. So today was a win. Yesterday was a loss. Today was a big win. Got this going. Very happy. I got a million things to do this spring and summer, so I did not want to have one more problem lagging behind me. So perseverance, don't get upset, just keep plugging away at whatever your problem is. On a homestead, you have to be a mechanic, a carpenter, a veterinarian. You have to be everything. So I can't afford, I'm not poor, but I also can't afford to be paying people to come in and fix stuff on me. I'll go broke real quick. So that's the deal. If you're in the market for a brush mower, snow blower, any farming tools or yard tools, I highly recommend DR. The product is fantastic and the customer service is fantastic. So I really want to give a shout out to them. So I appreciate that. Like I said, they gave it to me at cost. I still had to pay for it, so I'm not trying to suck up to them, but they were great. So I really recommend DR.